Hey guys, welcome back to Tasting Tuesday and our translation series where we are taking wine speak and converting it over into food speak. And our topic for the day is sugar, which is why I have Riesling, because it is the only wine that we make that has residual sugar. It is unabashedly sweet, but it's a great contrast for all the other wines that we make that are dry and they are unfiltered. Now, this is important when we do our translation because dry is winemaker speak for no sugar. It's the opposite of sweet. It is not the opposite of wet. That's just the way we talk. But why would we have sugar? Why do I leave some of the natural sugar from the vineyard by stopping fermentation early? Why do I leave it in this bottle? Well, because Riesling is so aromatic and wonderful, and when there's residual sugar, you get enhanced fruitiness and enhanced aromatics, and you also get richness and texture. And since there's so much acidity in this wine, you need some sugar to balance that out, and you get that real sweet and spicy balance that's so wonderful and beautiful in Riesling and makes it such a food-friendly wine. But in other wines that we don't necessarily think of as sweet, like Chardonnay or Cabernet, you can have winemakers who want the same things, especially if you don't get as much fruitiness or as much texture out of the vineyard. If you want to enhance those characteristics in your wine, you can't add sugar after fermentation. You can add sugar before in a process called chaptalization if your grapes don't get ripe enough because they don't have enough heat or sunlight in the vineyard. But after fermentation, the only legal way to add any sort of sweetness is grape juice concentrate. Now this is, granted, a really, really common natural sweetener in all sorts of foods, and even wines with concentrate added, the level of sugar in those wines is going to be significantly lower than you will find in many, many, many other processed foods or beverages. I mean, it is way less than you're gonna find in like iced tea, for example. But if you're looking for dry wines, because classically things like Cabernet are dry, if you've got good fruit, you don't need residual sugar in there. One of the key telling points is unfiltered, because if there's any sugar in here and you haven't taken out every single yeast and bacteria that could possibly be in here, then it's going to re-ferment in the bottle and you're going to have sparkling Cabernet, and that is not what you want. So the fact that all of our wines are unfiltered means they are completely bone dry. And so that is how you know when you have dry wines. And so you can save that sugar for Riesling to pair with anything spicy, anything savory. I mean, Riesling goes with everything. I could go on forever, but I won't, because that's all the time that we have for the day. Thanks for paying attention. Remember, the more you know, the better you drink. Cheers, guys.